This is a modified miner's head and direct drive spindle that Alan and I designed. I more or less designed it and he more or less made it today. And let me show what the deal is. When a miner's head was purchased by somebody, it was purchased for an existing great wheel. And so it came with a spindle and everything because it was an accessory. It wasn't something that was built especially for that wheel. And one of the things that it had was that, hang on, I forgot one of my props. When you got it, since it came with its spindle, they didn't want to, and they didn't have to accommodate any other spindle sizes, so it came with this, and it was down in this groove. Can you see how there's a groove cut in the mother ball for the spindle to sit in? That was so that it stayed aligned. That's where the drive cord goes, and then it goes from there to there, and it doubles the speed. Okay, cool. Well, we don't want to do that, since we were going to have to make everything. We thought, why have two spindles? Why not have just one that you can direct drive if you want to, or do miner's head if you want to, direct drive being slower, okay? So like if you're applying, or if you're learning, or if you just feel kind of zen, then you can do it slowly. Maybe a difficult yarn, okay? I mean a difficult wool. And so in that case, what you would do is, as per usual, with direct drive, you would ignore all of this up here, just leave it sitting up there, and put your drive band on the direct drive spindle, just as you've seen me spinning, okay? And you're just driving the one spindle and spinning off the end. Then, if you want to pick it up with the miner's head, what you need to do is you need to change where you and I would have two different drives, probably two different drive bands or cords. But what you do is you drive from the wheel. You drive up here. Do you see it? It's on one of these, whichever one is centered the best. And then you put another little pulley cord, and it goes from this on the miner's head attachment to the direct drive spindle. So the wheel is driving the miner's head up above, and the miner's head is driving the spindle down below. Now, what that does, this has got, mine has got a 48-to-1 ratio, so let's call it 50-to-1 for easy math. Every time the big wheel turns, the spindle turns 50 times, 48, okay? Because this is 2-to-1, this is about twice as big as that. It's actually a little bit bigger than twice as big as that. It doubles it again. And so now, when I have it attached with the miner's head, and the miner's head is driving this, and then this is driving that, you get double effectiveness, and it is running at 96-to-1 or 100-to-1 since we're averaging. That's pretty fast. I just read today that it was the miner's head, which is no surprise, that picked up speed of wool production, but also they were using pencil roving or pencil bats, and so the very, very thin, rather than, and I've discussed this before, but rather than a great big thick something or another like this top, or here, you know, where you've got a bat or a roll log or something like that, they were dealing instead with, let me see if I can just kind of make one, with pencil thin, okay, kind of like that. I'm sorry I was tearing, you can't see, but pencil thin little rovings, maybe in a long length, okay, and a roving is a little bit differently organized than top, but we'll discuss that later, maybe in a long length, and essentially what you can do is you can just spin that out. Okay, it's got so little in it, you can spin it out, and it's that whole width of the pencil roving or pencil top becomes a stretched out yarn, and so it was that too that may have added to the speed, is changing how the yarn was that you worked. Now I'm going to hand this off and just spin with it for a moment, because this is going to Tasmania. It's got a little bit. Oh, let me show you how it works. First of all, we've got screw things back here that hold the maidens in place. We also have, and I'm proud of this, we have a little screw thing here, because you never know what size the upright is going to be. And so we didn't want it to go through too far and get in the way. So what Alan did after we talked about it is he put another screw back here. It kind of looks like a kid's toy, doesn't it? Put another screw back here, and you can tighten it onto your upright. Isn't that cool? Right? And so mine is conical rather than cylindrical, and mine is fairly small at the top. The one that it's going to, the one that this is drilled for, is about 9/16, and it's cylindrical, but yet I can attach this to my wheel. The other features, I feel like I'm selling a vacuum cleaner. It's held in with the leathers. It's got the little wedge that holds the leathers. You've seen this before. If not, write to me and I'll tell you how it works. And the only other thing, and this has to be worked on a little bit because we got confused because we invented this just today, but in order to tension from the miner's head to the drive, okay, to tension from there to there, you have to be able to change the space between them. And these little ornamental tops do go up and down, see, there. But we need something to stick it into place. And so Alan's going to redo these a bit and then put another tensioning thing back here. So it's becoming a very steampunky sort of device, but it works fairly gloriously. So let me hand this off to Jonathan. Jonathan, if you'll just keep it right. I can't see what you're looking at. What the heck is it? Oh, okay, there it is. Keep it like here, okay? So I've got some on here, so you see I've been experimenting with it, and it's a little bit crooked now, but that's showbiz, right? And I'm going to put it on. I started this with no quill. I didn't feel like messing with it. And then again, it has to go down to the end, and then there you're spinning, and you see. Now this is working really, really quickly. Let me try to make it into the pencil roving that I was discussing before. That's Deuce. Ignore him. He's been giving me a headache. And we can see, let me join to this as if it were a long, nice thing of pencil roving. And let's see how this works. Let me get back here. Okay. So you build up your twist. Oops. Build up your twist the way you always do. You see how fast that's moving, okay? Then let it run in. And you can see that this is working. I'm going to have to work on tightening and tensioning, but this is going to Tasmania, I think. And so she's going to wake up in the middle of the night for us, and I wanted her to see that we are well on our way to having a combined, brand new, just invented today, direct drive or miner's head driven spindle for her. She's got a Granny Greer great wheel down in Tasmania that washed up there for some reason, so we're bringing it back to life. Thanks. If you'll press that red button right